All right, so I think we completed the project charter, we completed identifying the stakeholders, right?
Yeah.
Okay, few things there, and then today we'll be looking into develop project management plan. Okay, so we'll skip through these slides. Yeah, just make a note, like I will have to give you the project management plan template to you today. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I think the knowledge area that we are in is we are in the integration knowledge area. And which process group we are following? We are following the planning process group here. Okay. And we
Yeah.
are the life cycle, you can say we are organizing it and getting the preparation done.
Okay.
Okay. So this is important. Uh, this we will skip. Okay. So if you see this, this is the workflow that I'm following. Okay, for the project management. So project charter done, identification of stakeholder done. Then we are going here into planning process, and this is the main person over here. Develop project management plan. Okay. So we will go through it, but just to keep this picture in your mind, we are just going to get a very high level idea what project management plan is about, but the project management plan gets completed once all the other knowledge area are planned properly. So scope management will give you a scope plan. Schedule management, like developing a schedule, will give you a schedule plan. Developing the cost will give you a cost management plan. So like that, each knowledge area will give you one plan that will get attached to this project management plan. In a real life scenario, you may have one project management plan which will just give you a little bit of details, and they may have a hyperlink to cost management plan, resource management plan, risk management plan, like that. But sometimes some people use very extensive project management plan. They will have everything listed in one itself, like they will have sections like cost management, this they will have like that also. You can give hyperlinks also. Okay, but you get a gist of it, right? Like just wanted to say you, like today we are just getting an understanding of what project management plan is, and later once we complete scope management, we will the output would be a scope management plan. Like that, we'll be covering all the 10 areas, 10 knowledge areas, and you will come to know a detailed planning. So planning is the most extensive and most time consuming a topic when we go through project management. So if you see here, all these things, like this is just the plan, but all the scope management plan, all these are planning. We have to go through all these things and understand, and then go into execution. Okay. Sometimes you may not be doing cost management. So from an interview perspective, you can say, I don't do cost management. That's fine. Sometimes you can say quality is not a part of my project. We don't do quality management. You can say that, right? Maybe, no, sorry, you're in application, right? Application management, softwares and all you develop. So in that, quality management will maybe come, like what is the quality of the code, how fast it is getting executed and stuff like that, right? So quality may be applicable to you. Yeah. So maybe you can say cost is not applicable. So it's not important that every project should go through all this planning. Sometimes you may not have procurement management. You don't have to procure anything, right? So procurement management is out of scope for you. Cost management is out of scope for you. Sometimes for me, because I'm doing mostly infrastructure related things, my quality management is very low in the sense I just have to make sure the bandwidth is proper. There is no jitters, there is no lag in the quality of the IT infrastructure, something. If it's a construction based company, they may have everything into it, right? So aerospace, medical science, whatever, any industry can use this project management, and depends what is applicable. They will create those plans. Which is not applicable, they will skip, and then they will go to the execution part. Okay. Any doubts still here? I mean, before we move ahead,
Uh, no, as of now, uh, we are going in depth of this project management plan, right?
yes.
In each and every plan as well. Okay.
Right, so we're just planning. So if you can tie it back to your this thing, we know that for example, for a birthday party, simple, we know that we have to do a birthday party. This should start at this time and it should end by this time, and Anand is a project, or Anand will be planning the complete birthday party. So that is what we did here, and we identified stakeholders, key stakeholder, like from who will be joining. That's all. Now Anand will be doing the management part, like what should be there in birthday party, when the birthday party should happen, schedule, how much cost will be incurred in everything, all those things. Is there any risk, like your risk management is like while cutting the cake, the fire and all should be fine, all those things, like resources, what all the thing, how to communicate that my birthday is coming, when the people will come for birthday, how to manage all those things, procuring items for the birthday. So it is like we are in the planning phase right now, right? So it's very simple. The simple example could be a birthday party, and the complex could be, I mean, like your application development of the medical thing, right? So it can tie back to it as well. Okay, sorry, this is actually this should have been project management plan here. Develop that thing. Okay. Wait, I'll just correct it right away. It's okay. All right. So develop project management plan. What is this process? So this process is nothing but it's a process where we define, we prepare, we do all the coordination with everybody. When we say subsidiary plan, it is nothing but what I just explained. Subsidiary plans are like the scope, schedule, risk, communication, and it's basically like coordinating those subsidiary plan, getting them created, and adding that or integrating that subsidiary plan into this comprehensive project management plan. So this is, you can say, this is the master plan, and subsidiary plans are the child plans which is getting attached to it. Okay? Now the other thing is, in this project management plan is like the central document, and then it will have all the sub things. So it is the way, it is one of the best way to structure your plan. So now why we do this, as a project manager, why do we do this, and why do we keep it in a structured way? uh, any idea? Like, you're a project manager, like you can just do it the way you want, right? But why it is an industry best practice that you have a master plan, attach all the master plan, keep it always up to date, update all this plans, requirement details, everything that you are doing. Why is it required to get them documented and approved and everything? Any idea, Anand?
No, I didn't got what exactly is the question.
The question I'm asking is like, for example, you are the project manager. You can document it the way you want in your laptop or wherever, right? Like, or you can put it in your pen and paper on your book also, right? This is the budget, everything. Like, why do we have to document this plan so extensively? Like, this is here, risk is this is how it has to be communicated. All those things. Why do we spend so much time on planning? Like, especially for the big project, I'm saying small project is fine, but like, uh, why is it the project management practices, they say that we have to document everything, keep it ready and all? Why should we do that?
See, there is one saying like if we plan to fail, if we plan to fail, then we are planning to fail. Okay, so like if we are not going to do the planning, then 100% the project will definitely fail. Okay, that is much important. The planning phase is very important. Like without planning, we can't keep everything in our mind, and then we can work. Okay, it is not possible at all without planning.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. No, I think that's a very good point that you brought. So that's definitely one of the very key and the top most thing what you said. um, Anything else, I think that covers everything under it, basically what you're saying. I mean, you actually hit the nail, right? So yeah, so that's right. And also, like, from my perspective, I don't know it is written anywhere or anywhere it is documented, but this is my philosophy that as a project manager, when I close my laptop today, when my work is done, you know, or anyone for a matter of fact, like even if he's a developer or whoever it is always a best practice that you document everything and you say that these things were done in this way. So the another saying, a good saying that I would like to share with you is, do what you document and document what you do, right? So this is a saying like, whatever you are documenting in the plan, you do that thing, right? And if you are doing anything in a project, make sure that it is documented. So do what you document and document what you do, right? That is very important. And one of the philosophy that I was trying to say is, for example, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? Like, this could be a major project where for example, if it's a construction project, right? And I'm the project manager. So I don't know, tomorrow anything can happen, right? So if a new project manager has to come and take over my place, that construction project would be a dream project for a lot of people who must have invested their hard money in that film, right? So it is my responsibility to the society that I may be engaging in certain projects that is impacting somebody's life, right? So it's very important that we document this thing, plan everything, keep it ready. So during an execution time, like if I'm changing my company or whatever, if it is happening, when a new project manager takes over my project, it is structured, it is everything is documented, and he can understand what is happening, why it is happening, who are the stakeholders, how it is executed. Everything is documented, so that that project should not get delayed. The same question should not be asked to the stakeholders again and again, and it saves a lot of time. And as you said, it does not, it will not fail, right? So that's why it is very important. That is my philosophy, right? That we should be doing it in this way. And yeah, that is how maybe the intent of getting all the things documented in a central place is coming. Okay. Now, very important. Okay, the next point is saying ongoing iterative activity, right? Why do we say it is an, why we say that developing the project management plan is an iterative activity? Any idea?
Mm, no, 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 not
Okay.
sure about.
Okay. So you see here, we are saying we are developing the plan, project management plan here, and we develop everything. Okay. But that line is saying it is not a one-time activity.
Okay.
You planned it, but that line is saying it's not one time. You just created all the plan one time, finished, and you are going to execute everything as per this plan. It is saying it's not that. You have to keep
Yeah.
doing this again and again.
Okay.
So do you know a reason why it is saying like that, that it's not a, say, project charter is one-time activity, right? But developing a project plan is not. Why?
Maybe like if there are any changes need to be done, then the review should happen, and then again the next version document we need to maintain. That is one thing which is coming in my mind. If it is an iterative activity.
Exactly, that's right. So changes. You actually said the exact perfect thing. So this is an why we say this is an ongoing iterative activity, because the changes can come, and if there is any change that is coming, we have to go back and update the plan accordingly, right? And also, one of the important thing is when we just develop. So in a practical world, you will just create a 2 or 3 document project management plan. First plan, when what you develop, or the first document that you develop, it will be just a project management plan. It will have few lines, and it may have hyperlink to all the other scope, this schedule and all, and your project management master plan is ready. In the sense, you have the skeleton ready. But then when we get more and more clarity, like when we start talking with customers, stakeholders, and everything, we will keep developing this project management plan. So when we talk to customer, I will get my scope management plan ready. When I will talk to the requirement, or when I start working with the team, I will be able to get the estimates from the team, like how much time is required to create this, or to this is a requirement. Team, can you tell me how much time will you take to create this requirement? So the team will give some estimates, right? So my schedule will be created as per that estimate. Once the schedule is created, I will come to know what is the cost. So all this thing is an iterative. It is as and when we get more and more clarity, when we start engaging with more and more people, we will be creating more and more plans related to this project management plan, right? Now, just explaining the same thing over here. What I'm saying is I'm just giving an example. Like if you wanted to build a house, right? So we call a person and we say, hey, I want you to create a house, build a house for me. So, okay. So that is your project management plan. That guy will say, okay, I'll build you a house. He will ask you what kind of house you want, right? Like, do you want a traditional house? Do you need a modern house? Do you need a contemporary house? What kind of house you need? So, okay, you need a contemporary house. Okay, great. Then he will ask, what kind of kitchen do you want? Do you want a modular one, or do you don't need a modular one? How it should be? So he's getting more details from you. Then he may also ask you, what type of cabinets do you want in that kitchen, right? What type of cabinet locks you want? So you see how deep it goes. It's just not like go and build a house, right? So when more and more clarity we will get, we will the plan will the plan will keep updating. Okay, you need this house. Okay, you need contemporary house. Okay, kitchen should be modular. Then I need to buy this. If you need a modular kitchen, I have to get a quote from this vendor, like that. So that plan will keep updating, right? So the first plan is the project management plan. It's a master document, but the complete project management plan, or the baseline, I will tell you what the baseline is in the next slide, coming slide. That will only get completed when all the other required plans are created, approved, and everything. At that time, we can say the first version of the overall project management plan is ready, right? And of course, if tomorrow, if there is any change, you know, that we can come and revisit and update the plan. Okay. Any doubt here, Anand?
Uh, no, no, as of now.
Develop. Now this is input tools and techniques, right? So these are the input tools and techniques to develop the project management plan. Most of them we have gone through. You know all these inputs. Project charter. All these things we have gone through. Now output from other process is something I'm not keeping a tick here, because as I was saying, the output of scope management plan, the output of developed scope management will be a scope management plan. Similarly, developing the risk output would be a risk management plan. So like that, output from all the other processes will be one of the input. So after this, we will go through scope management and all those things one topic. When we detail it out, and we will keep attaching that documents to this. So that will be the input. So that's as and when we go to those topics, we will know. EEF and OPA we have always gone through. As I was telling to you, these two things will be almost an input for most of the this thing. It will be there, right? Then once you get this thing, what you have to do, you have to get your expert judgment. You have to talk to people. You have to create a checklist. You need to have a focus group discussion with them, interview the stakeholder, interview your team, talk to them, create checklist and all those things. So you will gather the data, right? You are gathering most of the data from them, and you are preparing the project management plan. It's more like a data gathering, and the way you gather, you will put it in your template, right? So the stakeholders can only give you the input to, and you are actually gathering the data. How you are gathering the data, these are the methodologies that you can apply, either one or everything, or you can only stick to brainstorming, or you can only stick to interview. Okay, so that's up to you. And now, what is our skill, right? So the skills that can come is like conflict management or meeting management, and all creating this meeting. Like you create a meeting, you manage the meeting. If there is a conflict, how do you resolve the conflict? These are the skills that as a PM we should keep developing, right? So there are certain special chapters that we can engage, like how do you do conflict management. So that itself is like a 2 to 3 hours of specifically, if you wanted to learn how to do conflict management, we can engage in that as well, like like how we can do it. So that itself is a skill that we need to develop, right? So I'm just saying here, most of them is explained, so we won't be getting them explained again. So I'm just keeping an eye on this as well. So these are the things we have gone through. Facilitation is something that I would say, I think we are seeing it for the first time. It is again an interpersonal skill. What is a facilitation? So if I say facilitation, it's more like a technique, right? Where you are facilitating something, like you are asking the people to come in a common ground, may it be a meeting or interviewing them, right? So whatever data gathering technique you're using, when they are in that meeting or interview, whatever that technique you're using to collect the data, at that time it may happen that there may be some conflict that's coming in. So how do you facilitate that conflict, right? So we should have that knowledge, and what we do there in that meetings or in the interview is we try to encourage their ideas. Like we keep probing. I don't think we have written anywhere here what is probing, but probing is like encourage. It's one of the way to encourage your team member. Probe them, ask them more. Like, hey, what kind of house you need? What kind of modular kitchen? What kind of color you want? Why you need this? So get encourage them to give you more data. So that is called facilitation, right? If you don't ask them, or if you just call them in meeting and ask them, hey, okay, you want to build a house, okay, you want to develop this application, okay, can you give me some inputs? And if you keep quiet, they will not say anything. They'll just say, yeah, just create that application the way other people are creating, finish. But if you ask them questions, by when you want it, what is your budget, how do you want the output to look like, do you want it to be integrated with something, do you want to automate it, facilitation, right? That facilitation has to be done. Then they will say, yes, can you automate? Okay, do that automation part as well, right? So, and then there would be a conflict. Like, how do you resolve the conflict? How do you facilitate a conflict that comes in between, right? So these are a bit of facilitation skills. How do you do? So you're bringing the best out, resolving the conflicts in the group. These are all done by a project manager. So he is facilitating a lot of areas like meeting, problem solving, conflict management, and all those things. Okay.
Yeah. And are we going with a little bit in depth in the coming classes with respect to this conflict management or other the plans which you are telling about?
See, like I'm saying, like these are specific skills, right? So I can tell you what is facilitation about. So you know what is facilitation. But if you say, see, it's like a skill, right? Which has to be developed over a period of time, right? So in this class, which is a basic one, which we are going through, I mean, there's a lot of things to cover, right? So I will definitely make sure that I cover all the tools and techniques with you, right? For example, if you say expert judgment, I can tell you what is expert judgment is all about, right? But then I cannot make anyone I cannot make anyone expert in expert judgment, like, hey, if you do this you become an expert judgment, right? So if you really wanted to, for example, brainstorming, focus group, you know what it is and how to do it. But to enhance that skill, uh, you know um, is something that you have to put some time and effort. When you do more and more projects, then you will come to know how to do it. right? So
Those things it
initially
will be
even,
in
yeah, sorry.
real time. It will be there. Like, but generally, like when we talk about project manager, like during planning, like how exactly he do the judgment, or how exactly he can able to do some brainstorming by taking any sample or something like that is
Yeah,
going to give a little bit more clarity and understanding.
yeah.
Because
So if you
generally,
have
like when
any,
we
if you
talk
have
about
any doubt,
brainstorming on the sense,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
when we talk about brainstorming in the sense like playing a chess, itself is a brainstorming. Like, but that we cannot implement those kind of information in the project management. So like, I mean like the little bit more like informative is there in the sense like I can able to understand. That is what I'm just like feeling like now.
So definitely. So if you have any doubt, right, like I want to know a little bit more about this tool and technique, we can discuss about that. See, okay. So when you said brainstorming, you said playing a chess is a brainstorming, right? I will say it is completely opposite. Completely opposite. Playing a chess is
Okay.
not at all brainstorming.
Okay.
Okay. So because when you play chess, both people are keeping quiet, they're not even talking to each other. It's more like a strategy that's happening.
Mhm.
Separate strat. Brainstorming is like get 10 people together in a house and do brainstorming. I mean,
Okay.
we discussed
Communicate
that
and
in
then
our
plan.
last class, right? Like how when you plan a birthday party, how do you do brainstorming with each other,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Correct.
Lot of ideas will
Right.
keep coming in brainstorming. Lot of ideas will keep coming, right? Focus group, I give you an example, right? Like focus group, like children is one focus group. Elder people is one focus group, right? You cannot talk about budgeting and everything of birthday party with small children, right? That is a decision making. The focus group will be a little bit different over there, right? So I give an example,
Yeah.
like what is focus group? If you want to gather some data, like kitty party, I told you, right? Like if you want to go for a boozing, your focus group
Mhm.
will be your age of guys, your friends. Your focus group cannot be your dad and mom. You cannot call them and gather the data, right? Simple. If you want to
Yes.
go, you do you drink?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
you
not?
drink, right? Okay, so very good.
Yeah.
See, if you wanted to drink something and you're planning to gather with your friend, will you call your dad or will you call your mom and ask them, hey, mom, do you know where we get Jack Daniels? Will
That's
you
a
do
very
that?
good question.
Will you do that?
No.
No, yeah, because that is not your focus group. To gather,
Yes.
what are you doing? You're gathering the data. What data you're gathering, or you want to gather? You want to gather a data that where can I get Jack Daniels? That is the you don't have that data with you. You don't know the address where you get the Jack Daniels, right? So what is the data gathering technique you're using here? You're using focus group. Focus group is
Mhm.
what? You will never call your dad or mom, even if they're sitting beside you. Dad, do you know where do you get Jack Daniels? Gone. Your boozing session is gone for that day. You can't go out, right? So your focus group is who? Your friends. You will call them. Hey, Rajesh, do you know where to get Jack Daniels? Data gathering. You're doing a data gathering with me, but it's a focus group. The technique that you're using is focus group, and you will
Mhm.
ask only that focus group.
Right.
Right, so I think we discussed all these things. So it's very important that you, I mean, when we cover all these things, no, just keep an eye on it, and the same thing you have to apply. I mean, tomorrow if you wanted to do uh, gather some data, you have to think, should I bring everyone together? Should it be different set of people? I think we discussed all these things last time, but what I'm saying is maybe listen to the recording, and if you need or if you have any confusion in any specific tools and techniques
Yeah.
into
That is what exactly is the problem, like which I'm facing now. Like I have only day one class recording, and after that, like there is no recording which I'm getting. Yesterday you
Ah.
shared one video, but that is in private mode. Still, I'm unable to access that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so what
like,
I'll do is let me do one thing. I will upload it in public. Okay. You download it and then I will make it private.
Okay, okay.
Hmm?
We will do in that way only then.
Hmm?
And yesterday's recording also you can upload.
Yes, I will upload all those recordings. Hmm?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, but definitely ask me, like, in this facilitation, did you got an idea about it? Because this is something new tool and technique that we have encountered. Facilitation technique is nothing but how do you get the ideas out of your stakeholders when you are doing meeting, focus group, interview, or something like that. That is a facilitation technique.
Okay. So facilitation in the sense like what facility we are going to provide, like when the resources are there, or that is what exactly is the facilitation management. What are the facilities we can able to provide to them?
No, it's not a
And with
facility that
laptops.
we are providing.
Okay. What is that like? Can you please elaborate on that?
Facilitation is like, for example, I will say that Anand, I have a webinar tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
I have a webinar tomorrow, and I will say that, Anand, I just want to concentrate as a trainer when the webinar or the workshop is on. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm just calling and telling. And I am requesting you to facilitate the end-to-end webinar. So when I'm asking you to facilitate the webinar, what I am expecting from you is that you start the meeting, you on the meeting, when people are joining, you admit them in the meeting, right? You're facilitating it, means you are helping me to do the meeting or do the workshop or webinar, right? So when people are
Yeah.
joining, you're joining them. If they're sending any questions, you're making a note of them. If somebody is just saying in the chat, very nice session, you're not taking that as a question. But if somebody is saying that I did not understand what is brainstorming, so you will make a note of that, and then you will pause and say, hey Rajesh, one of the person is asking, he wants to know a little bit more about brainstorming. Oh, okay. So what am I doing? I'm just concentrating on providing the training. But what are you doing? You're facilitating that entire thing. Like uh,
That is
even
what like
hmm,
for project development, like what facilitation the project manager will be giving, including each and every availability. It can be with respect to software, or it can be with respect to tools, or with respect to
yeah,
like most of the software. Like that is what I'm just thinking. Is
yeah.
that correct? That is,
So facilitating is not giving something physical. See, the text.
okay.
If you read this very clearly, see, facilitation technique involve getting people together. That's all. And create new knowledge. This is what you mean
Okay.
by facilitation technique. Facilitation
So
technique means get the people together and and gather that information and convert that information into knowledge. So it is saying, as the facilitator, the project manager need to encourage all ideas. So you are a facilitator of that session. When do you do facilitation? When you do brainstorming, when you do focus group, when you do interview, when you do checklist, when you're creating or when you're gathering this data using one of these data gathering techniques, one of the skill or interpersonal skill that you have to use is facilitation. Facilitation is nothing but encouraging the team, encouraging the stakeholders to give more ideas to you. If they have any conflicts, how you can resolve them. These all things are mean by facilitation. So it is saying, see, facilitation is a specific skill. It's a skill, right? It is not like you have to you have to give some facilities to them like bed or application or buy something or procure something. That is not, that's a different facility. Like if you're staying in a house, what amenities you have to give, what facilities, I need fan, I need bulb, I need AC, that is a different facility that, and then facilitation is different. Facilitation is a specific skill that is used in project meeting to bring out the best and resolve the conflicts in the group, right?
Mhm.
It's more of like, how do you get the team together? How do you facilitate that session? Like you are the center point of contact.
Okay.
So you can say you are the meeting owner. As a project manager, when you call the people for example, I will give you a good example. Wait, see, for example, it is saying you have to develop a project management plan. One of the project management plan is like scope creation, right? Scope management plan you have to create. So for scope management plan, what you will do, you will have to get your stakeholder, right? So you will call your stakeholder. You have to gather the data of what scope. What is the scope? You don't know. You have to gather that data, right? So nobody will come and give you that data. You have to ask as a project manager, right? So what you will do, the first thing is gather the data. You will do focus group. Who is my group from whom I can get the scope? It will be senior stakeholder. You cannot go and ask it from a application developer, right? Hey, my team application developer will not know. You have to tell him what to do, right? But what is the requirement? Who is a focus group? He's your customer. Customer is your focus group, right? So you use a focus group technique and you call them. How do you call them? You do an interview with them. How do you do interview? You arrange a meeting, right? When you arrange a meeting, now meeting management or doing meeting is again a skill. How do you send meeting invite? What do you write in it so that people join? Like we were talking about this yesterday, right? Like that whatever that Amit Verma or whoever it is, he's not joining your meeting, but you have to do that. Now once you do that, when they came, they will come and they will keep quiet. They will not say anything. You are the boss, right? You are the rock star over there, right? So when you are the rock star, when you are holding that meeting, you have to facilitate that session. You should do that facilitation. So when the meeting is started, when people join, you start facilitating it. How do you facilitate? Hey, hi everyone, thank you for joining this meeting. And you're facilitating. The reason why we are over is putting the intent very clearly in the meeting. That is facilitation. Like the intent of this meeting is that I want to collect the scope of this project. This project has to get end at this time. I want to get your requirements. I'm gathering the requirements so I can create the scope for the project. Okay, Mr. Verma, can I start with you? Can you tell me what you wanted to do? What is the scope? So when you probe, you get an answer. Otherwise, nobody will come. And when you just join a meeting, you on a meeting, scope requirement gathering, turn on the meeting and you keep quiet. What will happen? You're a project manager. You brought everyone, you wrote everything in the meeting and everybody joined. You should get the scope from everyone. Meeting is started, everybody join, but you will not say anything. You will not open your mouth. Will you get the scope details from your stakeholders?
No.
No, right? Why you will not get it?
Until unless I won't ask like how I can able to gather those information.
Yeah, the asking is facilitation.
Okay.
You're facilitating that meeting,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
That is what it is.
Got it.
Okay. So facilitation can be, it's again a technique. It's a huge technique. It's a broad, we do it. We are doing it every day. I'm telling you, right? We are
Mhm.
doing it every day. You are doing it. You are doing it in your many projects, but it's just that you don't know and you're not able to relate it. I'm 100% sure you're
Yes.
facilitating it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Correct.
So that is what it is. So I mean, definitely ask you, these questions are good. Okay. At least one, now you know what facilitation technique is. When you Google or when you spend more time about it, you will come to know what it is.
Okay.
Right. And one thing, Anand,
Yeah.
be very honest, when I started
Huh.
my project management journey, when I was hearing this term brainstorm, focus group, or yeah, what is brainstorming and interview? Same ही तो है, both are same only. What is this? You know, problem solving and
Yeah.
conflict, they both are same. What is conflict? What is problem solving? They both are looking same only. Conflict resolution, conflict management, they both are also same. But these are all different.
Mhm.
Now I know after experience, like what is the difference between conflict and what do you mean by problem? Right? What is facilitation? Even I was confused.
Yeah.
What is facilitation? Facilitation and meeting, they both are same. But what it is, they are different, right? So these are skills that
Yeah.
once you keep doing it, once you start doing the project management, slowly, gradually, when you get more, when you actually do it, you will come to know the difference and stuff. But I think at your age, you will definitely, once you know the difference, you will be able to understand what it is, right? So
Okay.
so far, any like, let me ask you one thing. Do you have any questions on any of this thing?
No, as of now, but once I go back to the previous sessions, revise, then I can able to get the very clear understanding regarding this. That is what I'm just thinking.
Yeah, Anand, and see, what I wanted to do is I wanted to keep all these recordings in this thing, in YouTube for some time, and you can download it. And I also want to keep all this files somewhere to you, so that it is not in WhatsApp. I checked with you yesterday, right? Like, where can
Yeah,
I
yeah.
upload this, or do you know where I can put it as a file server or something? I can, or best thing what you
Means
do is you
document
share me. Uh,
documents, right?
yeah, you share me a Google Drive. No, create a folder in your Google Drive
Yeah,
and share
yeah, I
it with
can do
me.
that. Like, yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
No? Huh?
I have that with the talent.hats the at gmail.com. Is there no Google Drive? Is there like we
So
can use
share
like
that
that, right?
link to me in my WhatsApp. No, so what will happen is, even I can upload the 400 MB or whatever this 400 300 MB is the only file size of this. Then I don't have to upload in YouTube also. No, I can upload
Yes, yes.
everything there. Once you download, you can delete it. No.
Yeah, yeah. That is what like that's a good thing. Like we can do in that way then.
So share me one folder and give me the upload
Okay.
rights. I will create
Okay.
chapter wise, the process wise. I will create. I will upload everything there. Like I will upload this templates and everything there, so you can have a look into it. No, right?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. The like I'll do that today itself. Then.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to the next thing. So this is what we got, the inputs and tools and technique. Now we are talking about the output. Now, after we do all these things, we get a project management plan. Okay, so what does this project management plan looks like, right? So project management plan, again, as we were talking, it's a plan which will contain all the subsidiary plans also. Then only it will become a proper project management plan. When you just create a blank project management plan, it will just say that this project management plan is for this particular project and all the subsidiary plans is located in this location, right? And then you may have 5 6 7 8 like that, and you will be able to see it, right? Let me just see if I can show you the project management plan with, so that
Okay.
you will relate to it. Otherwise, can you create can you share me the Google Drive access right away, so that I can upload
Okay.
it there today itself, so that you know it
Yeah, I
becomes,
can do that right now.
yeah. If it's taking time, it's okay. I will show this. You're able to see my screen.
Yeah. Can you tell me like your email ID, please? I'm just entering your email ID in the folder name.
See, scan. Yeah, I put the email ID in the chat. Yeah.
In the chat, okay.